What? I'm live? I'm not ready yet. Hey guys, Tuesday night. I wasn't going to do this. I actually really decided about 5 minutes ago, prior to filming, to go ahead and do turn 5. It's just gotten a little too interesting to scrap. You could probably argue, I know how this will end. Well, maybe you do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know how this ends. I'm curious. It's kind of become like a Netflix series for me, something that I just can't stop watching. The other thing is, since I'm working Saturday, I'm off tomorrow, so I don't have to get up at the rooster call in the morning. So there's that as well. And probably nobody watches this, but we'll see. All right, because I wouldn't blame you. I mean, it's how many hours now? Four. I think it's been 4 hours, roughly 4 hours and 20 minutes of footage of me playing this particular scenario. I don't know how much interest or novelty could possibly be left in watching somebody do that. But hope springs eternal. And so, yeah. All right. So, again, I have slightly adjusted the camera angle this time. I don't know why I feel the need to point this out to you, but the camera is lower and yet a little more towards the front and turned a little more. You should notice. Anybody that's been watching should notice. So that should be obvious. I went through and checked to see who was um, out of command, and believe it or not, I don't think anybody managed to move out of command, and that probably shouldn't be too surprising, as the area with which we are working here has really compressed compared to the first turn and even the second turn. So nobody out of command, and we all know about the French losses. The other addition is I had tried to make, well, I did actually make some, because again, I like to complicate things, and rather than have, because a full strength unit in a unit group is 4, and the easy way to represent that would be with 4 stands, right? Well, I have to complicate things and make it 6 stands. Why 6 stands? Because aesthetically it's more pleasing to the eye. Essentially, that's the only reason. So again, when you remove a stand, that becomes 5 stands instead of 6, and it's real easy to lose track of, if you're getting in the flow of things, just what the unit strength is. So I made these handy dandy jobbers to mark units that suffer casualty, and after making a number of these, I thought, it's just more clutter, and I don't know that it necessarily saves time, because if you lose 3 stands, then you got to stop and count how many stands. So anyway, I've succumbed to good old-fashioned colored dice: blue for the French, red for the Prussians. And the unit strength, if it's not marked, it's full strength, and if it is marked, that's its current strength. So this guy has 1 stand worth of strength left, even though represented on the table you see 3 stands. So you can see where the confusion lies. And again, I've brought that on myself. One other thing before I start. Now, I don't want to embarrass myself, which I'm prone to do regularly, but I'd like to refrain from doing that tonight. So I've been calling this defiler en parade, this rules conglomeration, and came up with a tentative little cover for if I plan on distributing this and allowing people to experience what I've come up with. Now, here's my question, right? You see this little guy? I've changed him to black and white, but he's from a painting from back in the day, and there's a color version of him. Now, I checked online, and it's my understanding that this guy is maybe a Silesian, because I think I remember. I found a picture that looks eerily similar to this guy, the way he's kitted out, and I think they said that was like a Silesian, kind of like Prussian type dude. So, or I'm just have lost my mind, and this guy's from like the Franco-Prussian War or something like that. So let's get some feedback on that so I can move forward with it. I've grown quite fond of the little fella and feel confident in letting him represent the cover, but not, of course, if he's from the wrong era. So we can save myself from future embarrassment by somebody giving me the high sign on whether or not, and there's our first tree of the game. I haven't even started. So there's a shot. Letting me know if that guy is actually from 1815 or so. Appreciate that. And then just to show that I don't just talk the talk, I've got all this typed up here. The rules that I use. If I was to present this now, it would make less sense to you than it does to me. So there's some elaborations that need to take place for somebody that hasn't played this or can't walk the halls of my mind. So there's that. I think that's all the preliminary stuff. Yeah, let's just get to it. Hopefully this should take about an hour, and that should do her. And all right, get into the flow. French first, we've got, and I also have, for ease of reference, the cards, because there are unit cards. I don't know if anybody's noticed that represent unit groups, etc. And I've got them laid out now. The troops have moved up. I have more table space. I'm able to lay the cards out for easy access. So there's that. All right. We've got this useless cavalry unit, which did manage to force them to go in a square. But that's about it. I still feel confident they can do something for the French, but we'll see. So that brings us to these guys. They're going to recover from disorder. Otherwise, that's a completely lost unit. If something happens to them, they only have 1 unit strength. That is unit group 1, line 1 or less. See how fast I did that? I didn't look at any cards, flip through them. They failed. So all he was able to do this turn was shed that disorder marker. And then the Prussians, this square could technically fire, but I mean, it's going to be such a low value modifier for the die. I don't even know if it's worth it. I'd probably have to roll like a 12 or something to make anything out of that, so I don't know that that's worth my time. We'll move on to here. I've got these guys that can fire. These guys that are within 1. Still in the way within 1. Kind of reluctant to move. It puts you at a bit of a disadvantage to move because, like I said in the last turn, you risk becoming spent and then not being able to fire. All you've done that turn is move, which has really hindered the French. And then they have to because they're the attacker, and I guess they're in lies to, you could argue, the disadvantage, but that's how that's played out. But we got to. Let's hack away, enough talk. Let's hack away at this full strength unit here and see if we can do something. Probably can, because Prussians have been quite adept at doing so. That is unit group 1, Prussian line infantry, with a troop quality of 3. So we need a 2 or less on this here die, and I got it. So Prussians strong at the very beginning here. All right, now let's conduct our fire. 2 dice 6. We've got 7 with only a 2 on the red dice. So that's not going to amount to much, even if we get it. But we'll tally it. 5, 6, 7. Fire strength value on that feller is a +1, but it drops to a 0 because he's firing 2 breadstick lengths. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Target is in line, not column, so now it's only 12, and we missed it. If he had been closer or they had been in column, they would have got it, but that's not the case, so he missed it. Passed his passed his passed his spin check. That's hard to believe. Okay, back to the French. I'll stop being overwhelmed by that. Well, two can play that game. Let's just see if the French can fare any better doing the same thing, firing right back in line. Unit group 1, no fire value either. They pretty much need, well, let's do the spin check first, 1 or less. If I told you they passed their spin check on the 1 or less, would you believe me? Well, you're going to have to. Ye of little faith. Let's do better than a 7 or we're screwed. Nope, a 6. Which actually is a 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's terrible. So another wasted effort there. Fire right back. Spin check first, 2 or less. He did not get it. He's done. How you doing, Don? And roll that up. That's terrible. That's a 4. That's nothing. I'm not even going to add it up. When I'm in this room here, when I'm in this room here, the cat goes in her cat tree. I pull the tree out so she can see in here and not feel so separated. Or do I do that for me? Back to the French again. Same deal. Let's see if they're spent, 1 or less. They are, in fact, spent. If I can get better than a 7 here, that would please greatly. And I do. No, I don't. Still just a 7. And that's nothing. So, I know that's nothing from past experience. Back to the Prussians. Now look at this. The Prussians want to do some talking right here. Some melee, potential melee stuff. Is that unit group 1? Yes, it is. They're better firing than melee, so let's fire, even though they're in column. I feel like they can do something here, 2 or less. They got a 1. Good for them. I'm mighty proud of them there. That's just fantastic. I guess I'm kind of pro-French. I don't know why. Underdog, maybe? And they got a 6. All right, but hold on. But wait, 6 plus 1 is a 7, but they're in column, so that's 8, 9. Firing at a unit in column is 10, 11. Are we too shy? As to say, so number 2, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's not a flank attack. Missed it again, so the Prussians aren't quite getting the lucky rolls they did in previous turns. Let's do a formation change here because at strength of 2 in column, we're only going to have a fire modifier of 1. But can we do this without blocking? No, we can't. Blocking this French artillery that has not been able to do. So here's another mistake I realized last night looking over this stuff. The French artillery was not used properly. In fact, it wasn't used at all. I needed to pull them up, do some bombarding, and then pull out the infantry and stuff. Maybe there would be a time issue involved there. Might be too time consuming to do that. I don't know. And not leave enough time for French to move up, so I guess we'll just have to die wondering about that. He conducted his formation change. Now we'll see if he spent 1 or less. I'll be darned passed. So he will be able to fire in line in the next turn. What about these guys? What are they doing? Let's go ahead and put them in column. This should be like this, not 4 abreast. This should be like this. That's much better. Line would only be 3 stands wide. Yeah, let's put him in formation change. We're going to do unit 3. 1, 2, 3. That is landwehr. So he's going to need a 1 or less to stave off being spent. He does not get it, but he gets his formation change. We already had one tree fall when I was trying to explain something. I hadn't even started yet, so there's your shot. Your first shot of the game. I don't know if that'll be the only shot, or there will be more, but for those of you that play that game within the game, make this shot count. Nothing else, because there's not a whole lot of trees here to fall. All right, they're done. Formation change, and they cheated just a hair by moving up a little bit. That's fine. French again, we've got these guys that can now fire, right? And that's a full flank shot right there. What are you doing? This, yes, this one, full flank shot there. We're going to go spin check first. That is unit group 1 still, so 1 or less, nothing. We'll roll up his fire, probably not much. I need a big roll here. I'm thinking 8 or above, 9 or above. I'll take it. We rolled a 10, 11. Put it right here where the camera can see. 11 with a 5 on the red die. This is a good thing. I'll add it up just to be fair. But I'm gonna be mad if I don't get this. In group 1, no fire value. In fact, it's -1 for the distance. So that's actually a 10, 11, 12. So yeah, we got that. Flank attack really ensured that we would get that. With the red 5. The anticlimactic, that's just a retreat, which they can do no problem. If they were to retreat, which they will, that would put them about right there. They maintained the formation. Nobody's really freaked out. Everybody's cool. And that's what we'll do there. It gets harder to conduct things. Now here's where, again, I've praised the sticks as being just fine, and they are. But as things wind down and we get in such close proximity with one another, the sticks become more of a challenge, and I find myself pining for the guaranteed space that the hexes allow. They pass their check. What's going on here? Is that why they have that? All they did was retreat. Okay, so again, this is a moot point. Another one of those deals where they'll just move up, but okay, fine, whatever. That's unit group 1. It should be 2 or less. 2 or less. Nope. Crickets out there. Crickets. For the Tuesday night. I don't blame you. I wouldn't be watching me either, but I've started this thing. And I'm kind of vested in it right now. He just moves right back for his action, which I've talked about this in the past. It seems a bit redundant, although you are forced to spend an action doing that. He should be done by now, right? So now that he's stressed, it's 1 or less, and he rolled a 5, so yeah, he's done. That back. So crowded. What is this for? French again. These guys are still good to go, so let's see if we can just do that again. This time it's still going to be 1 or less. No, they're light infantry. What am I talking about? So that is 1, 2, 3 or less, but they rolled a 5, so it doesn't matter. What does he have? Okay, they're done either way. I had a spent marker and a stress marker on him. God, I'm already confused. Come on. French, Prussians. We'll hold off on the juicy, fun stuff for right now. Maybe I can move up and potentially switch the line and just desecrate this French cavalry unit that's hanging out doing nothing in the open. What is that? Unit group 3, landwear, yeah, that's 1 or less. Well, 2, but still not good enough, so he's done. Now it's the French. Well, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to charge your little hinder. Kind of did it to yourself there. So they'll roll a morale check, see if they can form a square. I think they got it. They rolled an 8. Let's see a spent check on the cavalry here. 2 or less. He failed, so he's done. He is charging though. He didn't think about it. He didn't change his mind. They're in motion, so this is going to happen whether they form square or not. He rolled an 8. I need another chart. Here's my chart. Unit's basic morale value, that is landwear. Unit group 3 is a 4 with an 8 is a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's a 12. It drops down to, 14. Based on the distance traveled to charge, it comes out to a 14. All you need for these morale checks is an 11 or higher. So they too form the square, but I guess if there's any positive to be drawn from this, we're forcing these guys to form square and kind of just waste themselves, if that makes sense. It does to me. I mean, they're surviving, but they're not really providing any support for anybody there. Now it's just a regular melee attack. First charge of the game. It's just a regular melee attack. But these guys will be disordered after this attack because they charged a square. We're still going to roll it though. And need a disorder marker. Regular stinking old melee attack for these guys. Pretty good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the roll though, and 10, 11, 12, 13. It drops down to, yeah, we don't have this. We got nothing. Bless me. All right. Nothing but a disorder marker for their trouble there, so that's fine. Anticlimactic charge there. First charge of the game, though. That was different. What else do we got? Back to the Prussians. We've got... Let's move him up. Again, anticlimactic, not very exciting, but we got to move him up. Let's move him up without destroying the windmill. And roll their spin check here. Am I on camera? Almost. I'm like bent so far over. Let's see, that is Prussian infantry, unit group 3, 4 or less. Really? No way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or less. I'll take that. And I feel like they can do that. What is that? It's a 5. We can put a man on the moon, but we still get cocked die results. Some things, I tell you. Things that we still do that, for all the technology we have, we still tie our shoes with shoestrings and a knot. We still dry off with bath towels. What other weird things do we still do that you wouldn't think in this day and age we would have to contend with? Choices. Well, here, let's try and rally this guy because he's routing and he needs to be rallied. So that's a morale check, and then we got to do a spin check. Let's do a spin check first. Unit group 1, infantry, 1 or less. No. So regardless of the rally result, it will be done after this. 1 die 10. That's bad. Very, very bad. I don't think he did it. He's going to be routing some more, and I got to move the dice tray. So no more dice tray on camera. I tried. Ooh, we still got a little dice tray here on camera. A happy little dice tray. So we'll add it up, but I don't think he's got it. So 2, this is what, unit group 1 with a morale of 3. My God, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. He doesn't have any. No, I'm sorry. Jesus. Start over. Here we go. We're good now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus back down to 4 because he's routing. Oh my God. Well, bottom line is he routes another stick towards the table edge. He's going to be out of command after this. I don't even think I could bring the commander back far enough to put these guys in command without putting somebody else out of command. Sorry to keep sniffling. I'll try and take care of that in a second. I know that's annoying. I think there's probably, well, I know there's dust in here, but I know there's probably mold. It's the time of year. So if I put, no, maybe. You're part of 1, right? Yes. If I put them right there, they're all, believe it or not, still in. See, that's your command chain. 1 stick length, 3 inches. If you can connect everybody, they're all still good to go. Cavalry unit is in command with his own commander. Artillery is self-sufficient command-wise. You can't draw command from them, but they don't have to worry about it. That was that long, drawn-out rally attempt that failed for the French there. Back to the Prussians. Did I do nothing with these guys? And I can't do anything with those guys because they're kind of just stuck. We'll just put a done marker there. But this guy, he needs to. He's 3. Is he also 3? How is? I think something bad's going to happen this next turn. Who do I want to put in command? These 3 units or those 2 units? Well, I can do math. I'd rather put 3 units in command than 2, unless. Nope, still in command. So this unit here is just close enough to that to bring those guys into command. So we're good there. Sniffle, sorry. French again. Let's deal with what I'm avoiding here. The decision of what to do with this unit. Charge in the melee against them. Fire at them. If I fire at them and call them, that's not very smart. I charge into this unit, but in doing so, I've got the wall defense to contend with, and then I expose my flank to them. But if I charge them, I expose my flank to them. I don't know. Let's just make it easy on myself and fire and column. This is probably a dumb move. I'm doing it. I don't have the patience to switch the line and then see and then check and then maybe and then. So unit group 2 infantry is just 2 or less. It will be spent after this action. Firing and column, dumb move. Yeah, it's a dumb move now officially because that's only a 6. Not good enough. Unit group 2, they do not have a fire value. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is junk. Complete junk. Let's see. I bet the Prussians have something to say about that, don't you? they fire at line unit and line fires. What's their spin check? Another 1 or less, huh? They will be spent after this. Something big's gonna happen. I feel it. I knew it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 on the red die. Quick. Abbreviated adding. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I already have it without doing the rest of it. Right on the 4 die. Well, the French are no stranger to this. Remove a stand. That 3 becomes a 2. And add another freaking French casualty to the growing long blue snake of French casualties on the side of the table. Goodness sakes. French turn. What? You know, I think it's, what do you call it, operator error? I really think I made some very poor decisions here as the French player right from the beginning. And it's just becoming ever more glaringly apparent as the game goes on. These errors have become so freaking inflamed. I don't think there's any ointment you could use that would make it better. What am I doing? Firing this guy and calm because I'm retarded? No. We're not. We're going to conduct melee here. I cheated just a hair and moved them up about 1/4 of an inch. For good measure. Don't tell anybody. Spin check, unit group 2, that is just regular French infantry. 2 or less. He gets it. Oh man. Would love to have a repeat of what happened over here, even though they just completely ran themselves out of command and all that good stuff. But we'll see. They get to go again. Awesome. All right. Can I continue with the luck with this 2 dice 6? I can. Yes. Look at the. We got our 6 on the red die. Every time that happens, an angel gets its wings. I can't believe it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got this in spades. Oh, this is awesome. And okay, it gets better. Here's why. Just breathe. Well, A, because they're not spent now. But look, they lose a stand. First of all, you see this right here? The first Prussian casualty, turn 5. My God. But that's not all. They're supposed to retreat. They can't because the freaking church is in the way. And I guess you could argue, well, they'll retreat into the church. And I'm going to counter that argument with no, they can't. Because I'm mean and cruel and unfair. So there's another casualty for not being able to retreat. That doesn't allow me to enter in to the churchyard. That's fine. Also, they have a disorder marker attached to them. And if there was an attached leader, he would be wounded. Okay, Prussian turn. They can. You could argue they fight back, but they're disordered, so they want to lose that disorder marker before they do, which we will. And we gotta hope, as the Prussians, they're not spent after conducting that move. So 1 or less, 3. They're spent. Back to the French, who are not spent. They are stressed. Unit group 2. 2 or less drops to 1 or less for being spent. Oh, they just missed it. Got a 2. Needed a 1. That's how it goes sometimes. I don't feel confident about this roll. For good reason. It's only a 7. I don't think that's enough. 7. On a melee attack. We got the stinking wall. This is... Do they have? No, they don't. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. -1 for the wall is 10. -1 for being on the line is 9. Yeah, they got nothing there. That's a shame. That could have been pretty interesting. Now, here's the other thing. as the Prussians, we've got this artillery unit that has spent its ammunition, so can only fire within one breadstick length. Plenty of targets to choose from, though. Well, two. We'll fire at this one, but they do use their lowest artillery rating to do so. Now that is Unit Group 1 artillery, which is only a +1. Let's do a spin check first. 2 or less. We got a 5. He's done. And let's resolve his shot. Again, it's a +1 fire modifier. Got a 4 and a 1. That's terrible. It's a 5, which is a 6. This isn't going to be enough. 7, 8. Well, just 8. 9, 10. 10 ain't going to do it. You're going to need a 13 there, Hoss. What is Hoss? Where does that come from? And why did I say that? All right, now French again. Well, I mean, come on. You wouldn't be the French if you didn't charge this artillery unit in the hopes of ruining it in a melee attack. Let's see if they're spent after the moving up to do that. That is Unit Group 3, and they're half strength too, so I don't know what they're thinking. 1, 2, 3 or less. They definitely did not get that by rolling a 7, so they are spent and they cannot conduct melee this turn. Probably get blown across the table on the next turn. Now we're back to Prussians. Let's put these guys in line so they can be more effective with their fire. If I knock this tree over, that'll be the second shot of the game. We've already had our first shot of the game. Okay, did not knock it over. All right. Spin check on, who are they? Unit Group 2, landwear, right? So that's always a 1 or less. Failed the spin check, but we're going to resolve their one action of firing before we move on from them. 2 dice 6 again. 4, 5, 6. Unit Group 2. That is landwear, so no modifiers. 4, 5, 6. That's not going to do it, but I'll add it. 7, 8, 9, 10. What are they even firing at? 11, 12. They just missed it by 1, which is pretty good considering a roll of 6. All right, back to the French. Let's pull these guys up. Let's just start doing that. Let's just, let's go this way. No. Yeah. Because we can do this neat little thing called support and increase our chances of one unit getting a decent result rather than 2 separate units not getting a decent result. It's Unit Group 3. Everybody's still good here? Yes. Roll his spin check. Unit Group 3. And he's regular infantry, right? So he needs 3 or less. Boom, got it, nailed it. He will be conducting melee momentarily. So, it won't be too long. I don't know that these guys have anything they can do. I'm going to argue they can fire, but at a decreased value because 2/3 of their folks there are blocked by their own men, so I'll go ahead and roll that up, but I don't see anything going on there. Unit Group 1, infantry 2 or less, he's spent. And if they get a big roll, something could happen, but it's got to be a big one. It might be big enough, 8. Full strength, right? So that would be a 1. So 8, 9. 10. 11, 12. I think they just missed it. So Not good enough. Now back to these guys. Can't do support yet because they're spent. So I can attack and melee with him and draw them, the adjacent unit next to him, for support, but they're spent. So I cannot draw from them this turn. Let's roll their spin check. They are stressed. We rolled a 1. That's going to be good enough for another go. Unit group 3, regular infantry. Yeah, he's good for another go. Let's roll up this one, though. Come on, come on, come on. 6, 7, 8. 6 on the red die. This is awesome. 7, 8. Where's our melee chart? 6, 7, 8. What's their melee value? Unit group 3 has no melee value, so 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've nailed it. Don't need to go any further. 6 on the red die, so they lose. Our second Prussian casualty of the game here. Well, here's the other thing, right? Because of the result, they're supposed to retreat, but they're artillery. They're not going to retreat. They're going to take casualties. They can't just grab their guns and wheel them out of the way. And they're disordered. So we could have a breakthrough here because they get to go again, remember. Let's move over here, though, momentarily to the Prussian left flank, French right. We've got a melee attack by Prussians in line because they're a little confused. We won't point that out too readily, but they're a little confused. Prussian line melee attack. Let's see if they're spent. I think they are. Unit group 2, regular infantry, 1, 2. They are spent. So let's take a look at what they can do here. So we need a big roll, obviously, and when do we not, right? It's not a big roll. That's not a roll you want to brag about to your neighbors or anything like that. Just keep it to yourself. 4, 5, 6. Good Lord. Do you have any melee value at all? No. They'd rather fire, which I should have done. Trying to be like the French with this melee stuff. 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait. 11, 12. Just missed it. Seems like there's quite a few just missed it. All right, well, let's show them as the French. We'll hop back here in a second, but let's show them as the French how it's done, shall we? Unit group 4, line infantry. We need a 4 or less, which we nailed. So we'll be showing them real good. This will be an in-depth study for the Prussians and how to conduct melee. Now we do the 2 dice 6 crash course. I'm counting that. So it's a 7, even though it bounced off of out of the tray. It's a 7 with a 6 in the red dice. And damn right I'm counting that. All right, so still may not be enough though. 7, but they're full strength. All right, and the melee value on unit group 4, no. 1, 2, 3, no. So it's just 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, come on. 12 again? 6, 7. Good priming. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good God. I can't win here. 13, but then it drops back down to 12. Yeah, I didn't get it. Another 12. Well, they get to go again, though, at some point. Let's go with, as the Prussians, let's go with, they just don't have it, do they? Silesian Schützen, because it's fun to say. Kind of like what kind of German Jager unit. And their long ranges, they still get a +1 at 2 breadstick length. Let's see if they're spent. They're spent. Which is hard to believe because they're elite And needing a 4 or less, you'd think they could go and go and go, but now they're done after this action. Terrible roll as well. Wow. 4 plus 1 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's ridiculous. Complete ludocracy. Back to this. This is where the hot spot is. This is where something's going to happen. We'll see if they're spin again. Unit group 3, line infantry. Leading a 3 or less, already stressed, drops to a 2 or less, and they got a 7. Great. That's just awful. So we got to make it count here because that's it. They're spent after this. Melee attack on the artillery with 1 strength point left. This could be the first depleted Prussian unit, and I think it will be. We've got yet another 6 on the red die and a 5 on the other, so that's an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Drops down to 14. So yeah, we got it. And it's a 6 in the red die. I'm not making this up. So they're done. And to make matters more interesting, they get to do that advance after combat, not the podcast. You know what a podcast is? Does anybody? Whatever happened? I always liked that show better when Marshall was on it. That guy's a nut job. In a good way, entertaining. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and it's all board game stuff, which is fine. We like all games. Advance after combat. Listen to the first, we'll just listen to the first episode, and you'll know what I'm talking about. This guy Marshall. That's no offense to anybody, but that's really probably the only reason I ever listened to that show. So, all right, here's the deal. He's not gonna. You have to advance after conducting melee and eradicating that which one would just previously impeded your way, but that can suck, as you'll see in a second, because now I'm subject to a flank attack by these guys. I'm damn near risking becoming encircled here. We'll still say it's a good thing. We got some Prussian casualties out of the deal. Take what we can get. This guy back here is disordered, is he not? So he will recover from that disorder. This is that debacle that occurred last turn. Is he spent after recovering from disorder? What is he? Unit group 1. Regular infantry. 2 or less. Yep, he's done. So that's all he could do was recover from disorder. He's done. And now are the French out of command here? That's unit group 3? I thought he was out of command. I guess he wasn't. He didn't start the game out of command, so he must not be. Is he spent after this? That's the main question. Now he is some elite light infantry. When I say elite, I mean elite. So 4 or less, and he got it. What can you do? Can you finish these guys off? I mean, they're full strength still, so we got to start whittling away at them. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can 7 melee attack 7. Don't they have? Yes, they do. That was unit group 3. They do have a +1 melee value, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Drops back down to 13 because they're in line still, and we got it. Not by much. We just barely got it. 13. 2 on a red die. That's a stupid, stinking, ridiculous morale check. This thing's driving me nuts. They rolled low for that, though. That is unit group 1, infantry, line infantry. We're all at 4. Rolled a 4. He's got an 8 now. I think he's got it 9, 10, 11, 12, yes. You need 11 or higher on those. Morale checks are completely useless in my opinion. Back to the Prussians, who are almost done here, I think. Not much more they can do. This guy's stuck with nothing to do, so he'll have to pass. This guy's just, what's the point? You know, I mean, he's got this guy in his way, so he'll pass. Wrecking the walls of the churchyard. You can fire in square, right? I mean, you can, but I mean, is it worth my while to do so? I don't know that it is, because you're only going to get. You know what? I mean, you got to do something here. You can't just let them do nothing. So we'll roll our spin check for them. They failed that. We're going to try and rely on a dice roll here to pull off something for this Prussian unit. Firing at this French unit with 1 strength point left. You watch, you're going to get a 12. Nope, a 2. Oh my god. This hasn't happened yet in this game that I can remember. A 2 is the worst you can roll. In fact, it's so bad it causes you, the attacker, to take a morale check, so they could potentially be disordered after this stupid move. It's hilarious. We'll see. Unit group 3. Unit group 1, 2, 3. That is line infantry. They have a morale of 5. Rolled a 5. That's a 10. Yeah, they're fine. That could have been fun, but it turned out not to be. Whatever. French. Ooh, we've got this routing unit here. Let's try and rally them. Are they spent afterwards? 2, unit group 2, line infantry, 2 or less. Ooh, they got it. They got it. And now we'll try and rally. 5, I don't think that's going to do it, y'all. But they are within a certain range of, in range of the commander-in-chief. So they can draw from his, look at that, value of 5 for rallying. So 5, 10, 11, 12. Is that it? That's where we're at currently on a total 5, 10, 11, 12. But because the routing, it drops to 4. It drops by 4, so that brings us back below 11. And wouldn't you know, they continue their running on their merry way. In fact, they've run so far now, they're back to the ridge where they started. That's how wigged out they are. That's terrible. What a disgrace. You guys have routed that. What goes through the mind? Why wouldn't you just route a little way and then stop? Why would you just run all the way off to? I don't understand. Makes no sense to me. Didn't they pass their spin check? See, no, I don't remember. What was it? Unit group 2? Somebody watching? Did they pass their spin check? I don't remember. I got distracted. Guess it's not important. Unit group 2. Here we go. Unit group 2. I don't think they did. So I'm going to say no. They would have needed a 2 or greater. Or did they? Whatever. I'm saying they didn't unless somebody says otherwise. We'll arm wrestle over it. Russians again. These guys are spent. Those guys can do nothing behind them. So the Prussians are still there. You know, they're fine. But, I mean, they do have some weird units that are in this cockeyed positions that can't help. I guess that's what happens when they get so crowded. The artillery unit that can't do anything. What a mess. You guys, we need traffic lights all over here so we can organize the flow of troops better. That's just ridiculous. What do we have left that can do anything? Let me come over here real quick. I think the Prussians might be done. Well, let's move this guy up. Not done, almost done. Very, very nearly done. We had our first cavalry charge of the game, our first horrible roll of the game, or our first Prussian casualty of the game. Some stuff been going on. Unit Group 2, line infantry. 2 or less, good sir. 2 or less, good sir. Cannot, will not. Back to the French. A few things we can do here. Oh yeah, we still have these guys that are not spent yet. Unit Group 3, light infantry, elite. But they are stressed, so it's down to 3 or less, and they blew that. You know, you could have made us proud, but you just had to blow it. Big roll here. Let's finish off with bang and thank you. Another 6 on the red die. I feel like I've said that 100 times. We got on 11. I don't even need to add that up. Good to go. You know what that means. That means they lose. They have to lose a casualty now this time. They cannot. You know, they're partially blocked from retreating, but not completely, so I think they would still. I mean, when it came down to it, if it came down to it, they would just retreat. I'm being as fair as I can about this. I don't think they would continue to hold such that they would lose. Choose casualties over retreating. I think they would just retreat. That said, these guys have to move up. So that's what we'll do there. And they're supposed to be still in line, sort of. Everything's screwed up because I can't keep track of anything. There we go. It's 1 column, 1 line. The French have moved so far ahead here, but I can't keep track of what's going on anymore. This elite rogue French light unit that has really outdone themselves there. Cleared a nice pathway for more French to enter in. Unfortunately, we can't do that this turn. Now, here's another thing. Since they retreated, they have allowed this unit, Prussian unit here, a shot. So I got to give that to them. And they're in column now. What is that unit group? Unit Group 2, do we want to do melee or fire? What's your values? Unit Group 2, line infantry wants to fire because they're set up to fire. But they're full strength. Maybe it's better to do. We'll do melee only because they're full strength. All right, I'll stop. 2 or less, they got it. So a little bit of luck is spilled over onto the Prussians momentarily with that pass spin check. Roll up their melee attack. We're almost done here, guys. Maybe another 5 to 10 minutes. Wow. You want to say it for me? Another 6 on the red die. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they got that. Okay, so this French elite light infantry unit has been brought back down to reality with a casualty. That was a good move by the Prussians. Yeah, a casualty. We're disordered now. For goodness sake. And that's not all. I'll explain as we go. This unit gets to move into. I forgot to. I need to be marking these fellers. It needs to be marked. Who else has not been marked? They get to this fresh Prussian unit now gets to move into that space, so it didn't last too long, did it? Nothing. That looks weird, I know, but we've got headstones in the way here, and we have to be respectful. Oh, shoot. Should have saw it coming. I mean, there's just too many Prussians. You can't solidify any kind of breakthrough anywhere as the French. It's just not going to happen. What's left? What's left for the French? We've got one. Let's move them up. I don't know what the hell for, but no, then I got to outnumber them again. Leaving them alone. They're passing. They got nothing to fire at. Wasted artillery. It's the theme of the game. Hey, another routing French unit. Hey guys, look. Number 2. Line infantry. Morale 4. Let's see if they're 2 or less. Yes, they're spent. And we conduct a stinking, boring morale check on them. That should be good to go. What, an 8, right? 8. Here's my thing. On unit group 2, the morale of 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Drops down to 12. No, it doesn't. Drops down to 11. Math. But that's all they need is 11 or higher. So they did rally. Worth our time. Back. Welcome back. They now form column as a result. We'll turn them hither and thou. Group 2, good job there on the rally. They didn't even need the help of their commander-in-chief like the other unit that failed their rally. Alright, welcome back to the fray, guys. Prussians again. We have them that are not spent yet. Unit group 2, line infantry, 2 or less, but stressed. 1 or less. You're not that lucky, are you? They're done. One last melee attack by this unit. They could potentially push the French back to the wall. We'll see. No, I'm not going to do it. Only got a 5 there. That is unit group 2. Oh, yeah, just a 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. No, they got nothing. Back to the French. Got a unit here that's disordered and down to 1 strength point left. Let's go ahead and take care of that. He'll recover from disorder. We'll roll a spin check here. He passes that. I don't know what the hell for. What are you going to do with a strength of 1? What do you think? What do you think you're going to do? These guys are going to, we already did the French. Anything left of the Prussians? Yes. So as things kind of he went silent. Yeah, I don't know. What is that? 1, 2 or less. Okay, that's fine. So I pivoted him where he can fire at. Well, I shouldn't be firing him anyway. Whose sprint marker was that? We have. I think that's it. I think that's it for the Prussians. I'm just spinning my wheels here. These guys can't do anything. I think the Prussians are done. Yeah, that's it. So that's just at least the French, right? Prussians are done. I don't see anything the Prussians can do. We have this unit. We have, I'm going to say they have the shot. I don't care what anybody says. They're within the arc of fire. Long range. French artillery has that shot. So there's 1, 2. One more than I thought. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 French units yet left. What's the time stamp? I missed the start. Where did you get the troops? Oh my heavens, friend. Yeah, you missed a lot of the beginning there. Where did I get the troops? This is the Warlord Epic Battles Napoleonic stuff. I've got oodles of it. I don't know what happened. I slipped and fell into the Epic Warlord hole. I don't know. I'm a mess. What can I say? Well, let's fire with his artillery unit then, eh? I'm talking about it. Drop his ammo down to 3. See if he's spent. Probably is. Why does he have a spin marker there? He didn't do anything. I'm firing him. Like, these guys didn't do anything. He must have failed. 6 in the red die, but it's only a 1 in the white, so 7. I don't think this is going to do it, guys. 7 plus 1 is 8 for his fire value at that range. 9, 10, 11. And they're in line, so that's 12. If they were in column, we'd have something, but nothing. I don't know what the hell these guys are going to do. You know what? I'm passing with them because I'm not losing a remainder of that unit. They're only down to strength of 1. So I'm saying they're done. Can't afford to do that too often as the French here. That leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So this area here is what we have left, and then we're done. Let's fire with the French artillery here. Drops that ammo counter down to 3. And that is medium range, so he's going to get something. Unit group 4 artillery is a +2. Is he spent after doing so? Yes. What was that? A bug. Cool. +2, roll the 2 dice 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Great. Nothing. Stinking 12s. Stinking 12s. This guy is going to melee attack again and see if he can do anything. He's stressed from his last spin check. Let's see what he is this time. Spin check, line infantry. It would be a 3, but now it's a 2 or less. He gets it. So he's not done yet. 2 dice 6. Almost a 6 in the red die. We got a 7 in the middle of the road. Melee value on that guy. Unit group 4. No. So it's just a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good crime. Let's do this over 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, but don't get excited yet. It drops back down to 12 because his target's in line. So yeah, he got nothing there. He passed his spin check again though, right? So we'll just keep going until he fails. Hold on, stop, ahead of myself. Spin check first. Fails. He's now done after this. I thought he was going to go all night. I guess he did too. All right, now last melee attack for that guy. I don't know what it is about these 6s, but that's another 6 on the red die. These are my British Airborne World War II red dice. I like the colors. 6, 7, 8. I think we got something this time. 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14. For God's sakes, drops down to a 13, and we just got it. 6 on the red die. Another Prussian casualty. Making up for lost time here on these Prussian casualties this time. If they do need to retreat, they are disordered. Here's the retreat decision again. Do they have enough room to retreat, or do they lose a stand? I think they have enough room to retreat. Be fair and honest and realistic. I'm gonna stick. This does not count as a shot. I'm just moving the tree. They need to move back fairly far. All right, you know what? I'm going to allow them to move back. But as a result, I'm going to make them in open order, kind of screwed up here. It's either that or they lose a stand. You know? Fair's fair here. You can retreat, but you're going to be in open order as a result. They represent a disarray. They're lost formation here. These guys will move up since they were successful in their melee attack to claim the newly yielded territory. And, you know, mixed feelings about that. It's a disorder marker because they're supposed to be disordered. Prussians are done. We need this disorder. Everything's so crowded. What the hell? This is this and this is that. Okay? It's getting too crowded. Make me nervous. We're almost on the square. 1, 2, 3 more units left. Yeah, he's got that. They're within the fire line. They're in column. They're just going to fire. Spin check. Unit group 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Line infantry. Veteran, 3 or less. Fails. That's your veteran French for you. Can't even pass the spin check. 2-6. Terrible. 5. Not going to be enough. 6, 7, 8. Nope. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is awful. 2 French units left. My back is screaming right now. This right here. Half strength in column, but let's do it. Spin check on this guy. Unit group 3. Line infantry. Needs a 3 or less, and got it. So he's going to get to fire at least twice. Let's do the first fire. Jesus, that was terrible. 10 cowers to a 9. Old squad leader will in effect. Could be enough though. 9 firing. Unit 3, add 1 is 10. 11, 12. No. 11. 12, not enough. Now here's why. Because they're half strength and they're in column. But they get one more shot. Actually, it would be, now it's 2 or less. I rolled a 4, they're done. That's fine with me. My back's also done. Final fire attack for them. 5, 6, 7. I don't know if that's going to be any better. I don't think it is. It's less than what I had last time, right? 5, 6, 7. 8. Yeah, 9. Nothing. Alright, so they're done. They got nothing. That leaves one more unit. That's this guy here. And really all he can do is move up. I mean, if he passes his spin check, he can get off a volley fire, not volley fire, but he can fire in column, I guess. Let's see if he passes that old spin check. He's going to need a 1 or less, so I don't see that happening. Watch him. Roll a 1. Roll a 1. Passed. All right, fine. Let's just fire. In column. Long range. You think you guys are, you think you can do something with that, huh? You think so? Maybe you can. All right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. No, you cannot. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that the best we can do? 4, 5, 6. No. 7, 8, 9. Roll spin check again. Stressed. 7. He's done. Here's the last action of the game. I'm turn. What can he do? Anything? Nope. 6 on the red die, but white on the 1 on the white. So that's a 7. That's not going to be enough either. Yeah. All right. That's the turn, guys. Quick overview, recap, conclusion, remarks, questions. You guys be thinking if there's anything you want to suggest or ask. That was turn 5. It's supposed to be turn 8 in this critter. I don't see myself getting a turn 8. I say that, but I don't see that happening. I may have one more turn in me, kind of winding down with this. But then I look at it and I think, but wait, this could happen or that could happen. We had our first recap. We had our first cavalry charge. They successfully formed square because the French started the charge from a little too far away, which they became disordered for charging a square. We had our first Prussian casualty of the game. In fact, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Prussian casualties this turn. So obviously, the French are much more adept at melee. Is that what's going on? We had our first flood roll, which was a 2. That caused, I don't know, it's just kind of fun for me. Causes the attacker to take a morale check. This badass French light infantry elite unit got a dose of reality and was pushed back into the center of the churchyard after pushing everybody out of their way. Anything else of note? We've got these guys still routing, couldn't rally. These guys still routing, couldn't rally. These guys did rally, were routing. And I don't think anybody on the Prussian side is routing. In fact, we only have these guys, which are disordered. So that'll cost them to take waste an action, removing that disorder marker the next turn. That's about it. That's it. Everybody's up to date. Recap. You guys know everything I know now. Thank you for watching. This, as the series has gone on, comments. Did they come painted? E4 Airmen. Go to the, and I'll answer that question, but do yourself a favor. Go to the Warlord Games website, and you'll learn everything there's to know about the Epic Battles Waterloo figures. They come in this color, the generic blue or the generic red. What I have done is, because it's just a little bit too bright, a little too light, a little too shiny, I put a darker flat shade of blue on these guys and a darker flatter shade of red. On the British, who are representing the Prussians, that I do have stands and stands and stands of Prussians that come in this color, waiting to be based. I ran out of grass. Not that kind of grass. In fact, I don't mess with that kind of grass. Ran out of this kind of grass and waiting for more to show up. Got 3 little containers of it coming at some point. Yeah, so your voice sounds familiar. Do you know? I don't know what that says. Something no J? I don't know what that is. Wardrobe Back says hello. Hey, glad to have you back, dude. You also play Bolt Action British? No, I just have the dice. I've never played Bolt Action. I have the rules for it, and I've considered doing so for 15 mil scale. But no, I'm just a sucker for the dice. British Airborne dice, you can't go wrong with that. I had to get those. And then I don't think he's been on with, I don't know what that says. Not Jay, no? You watching?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
You hear that? I didn't ask you anything. How about that? In fact, I didn't even touch you. She doesn't have an answer for that. She may comment again at some point. Using these minis like this reminds me of old miniature wargame books with the simpler table and minis. I'll take that as a compliment. If the blue are supposed to take out the red, that red center looks strong. It does look a little strong and compact. I don't want to say impacted, but compact. Picture 2, not J, is a channel that I appear on, and what is this? Not K appears on my channel. Okay. Not J is Chris. Just remind me. So comic book from, okay guys, that's enough. I guess I'm playing with figures from the 70s that I got from a comic book. Fair enough, that's fine. I like them. I like the size. I like the sculpts. They look good. Sure, they look better painted. You want to paint them for me? You know, I spent. Oh, it's like talking to kids about walking to school barefoot through the snow. I spent 6 months through the what was it? The winter, fall and winter and spring, painting 28 millimeter folks. In fact, let's just turn the camera around. What's he talking about? He's talking about all those things. You see all these? This is why I never want to paint anything ever again. I spent 6 months painting. You don't want to see that, but it goes on, and I can't turn the camera because it's like reversed. As I look at the PC screen, it's reversed from what I'm doing, and it makes my brain hurt. That's why I have no desire to paint. I don't even know how this was. See what happens. No desire to paint these guys. Plus the size. I mean, you know, you could say, well, it's forgiving because they're small, and you don't have to be. But I know because I'm doing it if it's accurate or not. And if it's not, I won't be able to live with myself. Why do it if they're just going to be just paint them like crap just to have paint on them? Might as well not paint them. So yeah, I know. But you know, I'll have to say, as much as I love the 28 mil guys, they look great, especially painted, which they are. But the scale is just a little too big. I mean, to really do what I'm doing here with 28 mil, I guess I need a table twice this size at least. And you know, black powder, they're mighty proud of their scale and size and scope of their battles. And you know, I mean, it's originally meant for 28 mil, and it's like, my God, who has that much stuff? Anyway, I digress. Anything else? Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Yeah, paint them for me. Look fine to me. Yeah. I'm pretty thick-skinned. You guys can think what you want. I like them. Play sharp, practice, and battles. Yeah. Hey, thanks guys for stopping by. I know it's getting late. You guys got to work tomorrow. I'm off. I work Saturday. As a result, yeah, it's late. Thanks for stopping by. May have another turn in me. I guess you'll find out. You know, if I was smart, I would schedule these in advance so people can know when to drop in and watch. Then I feel obligated to do it if I do that, and then I don't want to do it. Then it's like a job or a chore. I just play when the whim takes me, and it's taken me a few times here over the week. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you again for watching. It means a lot. And talk to you soon, most likely. Maybe. Probably.